there's a pair of skis up in the tree. I know. Whenever someone is visiting, we get to this point, and the visitor always asks, Ken, why is there a pair of skis up in the tree? It's a story. It's a long story. A story? Hey, could you tell me? They always ask. All right, sit down, and we have a seat, and I tell them the story. Long, long ago, way, way back, it seems like almost another lifetime ago, a little boy named Glenn lived right here. And I remember when that little boy was, no older than 5, I asked him one winter day, Glenn, would you like to learn how to ski? His eyes opened wide. He smiled. Yeah. Okay, I said, let's go out to the ski hill and I'll teach you. Well, the ski hill wasn't really a ski hill. It was just our front lawn that had a very mild little decline, descent, a slope. So I hooked Glenn up into his skis and I said, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a little nudge and you're gonna go straight down. When you get to the bottom, you'll stop. If you don't stop, just fall. And so I gave him a little push. And I ran to keep up with him. And he went straight down, and sure enough, when he got to the bottom, he just fell over. I said, are you okay? Are you all right? Are you okay? He looked up at me, and he grinned from ear to ear. Can I do it again? And we did it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Glenn loved skiing from that first day. Now, when I took him to a real ski hill, we went on the bunny slope, and oh, he loved that rope tow, holding onto that rope and being pulled up the mountain. He thought that was fun. And then I instructed him, okay, now, when you go down the mountain and you want to stop, all you got to do is pizza pie. He looked at me and said, pizza pie? Yeah, aim your front skis, push them together like this, but push against so they don't cross, like a little pizza pie. So he tried it. He went down the hill and I said, pizza pie, and he went, whoosh. It worked. So that's what we did. We went up the hill and we went down and I'd say, pizza pie, pizza pie, pizza pie. And then I taught him how to go sideways on the mountain so that he wouldn't be going speeding straight down. But then Glenn looked up at those folks who were in the sky on those chairs, and he says, Daddy, I want to go up there. I said, well, you're not ready yet. And so we went on the rope tow and pizza pied, and every time we went down, he kept looking up. I want to go up there. So I said, all right, I'll get you on the chairlift. And I showed him how to get on, and I held on to him and pulled him back and showed him how to pull the bar down. You always pull the bar down, and you always lean back, never lean forward. And when we got up to the top, I said, okay, I'm going to pull the bar up. Now, very important, keep your tips up. He looked at me, what? Keep your tips up. They're ski tips. Keep them up so that when we get to that platform, you don't get stuck. You'll slide right over him. So he said, okay. And we put our ski tips up. We went right on that platform and down. And again, Glenn looked at me and said, that was fun. And now I instructed him. Okay, here's what we're going to do, Glenn. We're going to go down the mountain. You're going to go first. I'll follow. I want you to go to that tree over there and stop and wait for me. And we'll go from tree to tree, section to section, a little bit at a time, and practice, okay? And he said, okay. So I gave him a little push, and I watched. And I watched as he went right toward that tree. Looks good. It's got good balance. And then, hey, he didn't stop. He went right past that tree, and I yelled, Glenn! But he was going. Well, I pushed off, and I went. By the time I got to that tree, he was going down the mountain, and he was going straight and fast. And I yelled out, Glenn, Pizza pie, pizza pie, Glenn, pizza pie. He was going straight down. He was wearing one of those hats, you know, with the top that goes way, it must have been 5 feet long, and it was flying in the breeze. And he was flying. Well, I went down as fast as I could. Oh no, he's gonna crash into a tree. He's gonna knock somebody over. By the time I got to the bottom, he was waiting for me. And I looked at him, I said, Glenn, why didn't you pizza pie? You didn't listen to what I said. And he just looked up at me, and he smiled and said, that was fun. I want to do it again. And so we did it. Again, and again, and again. I know what you want to know. Well, what does that have to do with these skis up in the tree? Well, one summer day, I looked out my window. I said, what is Glenn doing back there by the rock wall that separates our property from that big old cornfield up there? And so I went out and said, what are you doing, Glenn? He said, oh, nothing. Ha, ha, ha. When I ask Glenn what he's doing, he says nothing. He's doing something. So I said, come on, Glenn, what are you doing? You're just reconstructing this rock wall. I said, well, what for? He said, well, I want to make a jump. I said, what? A ski jump? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to come right down that hill and make this nice and flat here, build it up and go right off. I said, that looks a little dangerous, Glenn. No, it'll be fine. I said, Glenn, it's 90 degrees out today. Why are you doing this now? And Glenn looked at me and said, Dad, winter will come. The snows will come. And he was right. Winter came. And the first time it snowed, it only snowed about 2 inches. And there was Glenn out on this hill shoveling. He was shoveling snow on the top of that little ramp. I said, Glenn, what are you doing? This snow's just going to melt. He says, yeah, but I'm going to build up a little bank here and it won't melt as fast. And he was right. Everything melted except for that little pile of snow that he made. And the next time it snowed, he did the same thing. And so now he had a little bit of a pile there, growing and growing. And then we got the big snow. And the whole mountain was covered. And I woke up that morning, made a pot of coffee. I was sipping coffee, looking out the window, and I said, who's that on the hill? There's somebody walking up to... Is that Glenn? Glenn was walking up to the top of the hill with his skis on his shoulder. And he got to the top, and I looked at him, and he put his skis on. He looked down that hill, and I thought, oh no, oh no. My heart started pounding. Oh no, oh no, oh. And he pushed off, and he went straight down that mountain. No pizza pieing, He went straight down that hill, and he was flying. And then he hit that jump. And he went up in the air. And by this time, I was running outside, and I could hear him, woo! And I looked up in the sky. I lost him in the clouds and in the snow. And then there was a giant crash. And he crashed right into that tree. Well, I came running out, and by the time I got to the tree, Glenn had unhooked his boots from his bindings, and he had jumped to the ground. He was shaking his head. Whoa, that was some ride. I said, whoa, man, you okay? He said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, well, you gonna get the skis down? He looked up at him and he said, Dad, I think it's time to upgrade. And so that year, on a visit to Vermont, we stopped at a shop in Killington and we bought him a new pair of skis. And those skis have been up in that tree ever since. Now, when I'm telling that story, the listener always wants to know, where's Glenn now? Where's Glenn now? He's skiing, or more likely snowboarding. Or maybe he's making snow or driving one of those great big machines that grooms a mountain. He's out in Colorado. And that boy, he'll be skiing for a long, long time.